Durban is missing you. Let's take this time to recharge. Durban is waiting to welcome you after lockdown. Be energized by the ocean, beach and bush. Discover Durban's adventures and tranquility. Play on the promenade and put the fun back in your life. Enjoy a township experience. Do the Inanda Heritage Trail. Explore Durban's cultural diversity. Stay at home and plan to create new memories. Visit Durban online. Durban's warm hospitality awaits you.
It's the regional showpiece that keeps on giving. It is all about elevating a women's club football, and certainly the CAF Champions League COSAFA qualifiers has done that for the past 3 years. We've already crowned 2 champions, and we might just be in for a new champion this year, or possibly repeat champions. If you've just joined us, we've wrapped up our first game of day 2 with Costa registering their first win of this tournament. And of course, because we had 2 draws yesterday, today makes it the first victories of the tournament. They of course won over Young Buffaloes. But if you did not see the game, well, here's Susan Mapena, who's going to give you a nice recap.
And trying to open the scoring for Costa del Sol. The goal of the tournament so far in my book, lovely set piece here where they break down their opponents here, Costa del Sol, and in the end it's Janeiro that has the simplest of putaways, if you will, after a lovely weighted pass then from the captain Panja, who got the assist in what was a beautifully worked set piece here. The creativity absolutely top-notch all the time, put into training, coming over 5 minutes since the start of the game. So, how's this for good hard running here from Moroni? All on her own, really, no support to speak of, and she's taking them all on, and in the end, it's Sekonza that's, well, ill-timed with the challenge, giving away the penalty, and a chance for Costa del Sol in the first half to go 2 up. Panja got the assist earlier, stepping up to score from the penalty spot, and it looked as though Costa del Sol were cruising at this point at around about the midway point of the first half. Comfortably done. And right at the end of the first half, then Young Buffaloes, who got stronger and stronger as the game went on, gave themselves a chance here, light at the end of the tunnel. Not the best of goalkeeping or defending on the far post. Nice turn and nice put away here for a Young Buffalo side that were really up to the fight in trying to make life as difficult as possible for Costa del Sol. All those goals scored in the first half. There were to be no more in the second. And a game that had a fair bit of entertainment, giving us our first win of the tournament, and with the 3 goals scored in that goal, in this game rather, it is the highest scoring game so far in this year's competition. Mphalala with the equalizer then. So, highest scoring game of the tournament so far, I need to say, is the 2-1 win for Costa del Sol. But then again, that could be done away with Mamelodi Sundowns taking on Olimpic de Moroni of the Comoros.
So what's the story now with both these teams? It looks like injuries are the headline for both these sides. For Olimpic de Moroni, they traveled without 6 of their key players as they are injured from their local women's league. So they have a trimmed squad, but they do have 4 new players with Umahosa Pauline in goals, one of the new players that will be starting. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, it is changes. Mbambanani Mbane is still injured from the World Cup. You've got Zanele Nhlapo, the captain, who won't be in the starting 11, as she's still serving her red card from last year's Champions League. Last year's player of the tournament, Melinda Khadiete, also in a moon boot. But 2 new signings for Sundowns. As we know, they are conservative signers, season in and season out. But they do have the experience of Colosso Biana, who does come in today. So a bit of changes in that defensive line and a few in that offensive line. But let's hear from the coaches and just how they have prepared for today's encounter. Coach, I appreciate your time. Now we know with the local league, the Hollywood Bet Super League, you're sitting comfortably at the top of the log. But when it comes to Champions League, we know that it's a different beast all on its own.
Yeah, for sure, it's a different beast. Look, Hollywood Bet Super League, we lately we're a little bit battling, but it's the competition. The league has grown leaps and bounds, and teams, they've also bolstered their squad, which is something which it shows that South African women's football is growing. Champions, when we come to COSAFA, it's a different ball story. It's a pity for us. We don't know much of the teams that we play, and especially Moroni now is the one that we're going to play with. We don't have the clips for them in terms of how they apply themselves, But for them, Tina, we are very exposed. They watch us every weekend, but we just got to rely on our strength in terms of how we apply ourselves to them.
We saw you yesterday and Coach Agnes in the stands taking notes in that the Green Buffaloes game. Coach, how did now the preparations go considering like what you saw yesterday?
Yeah, look, we're not going to change anything, We just needed to have the surety in terms of which team could come out of that group, even if any of the two can come up.
You've got 2 new signings in Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. How do you now integrate them into the team? You've got more experience than anything.
Yeah, look, we've acquired an experience in the youth. And Malebukang Shawe, she's only 22, but it's a pity, it's unfortunate that in her first training session with us, she pulled a hammy. We won't be seeing her in today's game. But with Colosa Biana, she's bringing a lot of experience from World Cup. She also played in Spain, and she's going to add a lot of value into our team. And we don't want to rush. We don't want to rush her in terms of introducing her into the team. But gradually, she will get into the team.
All the best.
Thank you.
Coach, last year the team only managed 1 win. What's now the focus this year?
L'année dernière, on a gagné seulement une match. Quel est l'objectif de cette année?
Cette année, c'est de faire mieux que l'année dernière. On va essayer malgré l'absence de 6 joueuses.
This year, it's to do better than last year. We are going to try our best, even though we are lacking 6 of our players.
What do you know about the team you are playing today?
Qu'est-ce que vous savez de l'équipe que vous allez jouer contre aujourd'hui?
C'est une très grande équipe en Afrique du Sud, on connaît, on les a vus plusieurs fois jouer la Ligue des Champions. On sait à quoi s'attendre, mais bon, on va essayer de faire le maximum.
It's a big team in South Africa. We've seen that they have already played the Champions League. We know what is awaiting for us, but we are going to do our best.
How have preparations gone in terms of preparing for this game, but also arriving here? Has the team had time to settle and acclimatize?
Comment ça a été la préparation pour l'équipe, pour cette match et aussi pour l'arrivée en Afrique du Sud?
Ça va, ça s'est bien passé la préparation, mais malgré l'absence de nos 6 joueuses qui ne sont pas là, parce que ce sont les meilleures. Et après, voilà quoi, on va essayer de faire le maximum, de donner tout le maximum et de bien figurer parce qu'on représente les Comores.
It's all went well, even though, as I was saying, that we are lacking 6 of our best players. We are going to do our best because we are here to represent Comoros, so we are going to do our best.
Merci beaucoup, Coach.
Thank you very much. Merci.
The biggest question for both these sides is now how do they make up for the missing gaps on this pitch? But both coaches, I can tell you, are certainly confident with the personnel they have on the bench. To take you through this one is a legendary Sizwe Mabena. Let's get into it.
The question in the day on top of Group B at the 2023 CAF Women's Champions League COSAFA qualifiers continues for former African champions Mamelodi Sundowns up against Olimpic de Moroni at the Sugar Ray Cooler Stadium in Clermont, Durban. Hey, good day this to you wherever you may be enjoying the football here in Durban. We've had one match goal and all come with goals, 3 of them earlier on in the day, and a winner for the first time in this year's competition. The debate now amongst many of us that have been awaiting the second match is who will score more goals in between the 2 matches and who will end the day top of the group. Many people's money on Mamelodi Sundowns, but tell you what, Olimpic de Moroni will be looking to come up with an upset or 2 if they can here against a Mamelodi Sundowns side that's not only known throughout Southern Africa. They have formerly been crowned African champions and of course are a force to be reckoned with, well, from the north all the way down to the south of this lovely continent of ours. And as far as the action, we were entertained earlier on here by other sides in the group, Costa del Sol as well as Young Buffaloes. 3 goals scored in that match. Costa del Sol currently top of Group B, winning that match with a 2-1 scoreline. All 3 goals in that encounter scored in the first half, meaning these sides will only look to entertain here and walk away with the 3 points if they can. These 2, that being Sundowns as well as Olimpic de Moroni, they'll also be looking to score goals here to ensure by the time they rest their heads on their pillow at the end of the evening, they are sitting top of the standings and standing themselves a good chance of finishing the group at the top of the log standings. So let's have a look at the starting 11 then, starting with Mamelodi Sundowns. Injuries having a telling part for both these sides, but they will start with Daweti as well as Tolagele in the sharp end of their attacks. Watch out for Mukwena operating with Rabale and Mtandi in the way of the 3-lady midfield. Then they, of course, will also look to Litsoso to run that defense here and ensure that what turns into a 5-lady midfield and a 5-lady defense when they don't have the ball does protect Dlamini rather well. For Olimpic de Moroni, well, it's all about having the good start. So you can see the numbers are somewhat wanted by the fact that so many, 6 of their players didn't make the trip down to South Africa, but still, that's it. They will look for a good showing from the likes of Mohammed, who is an international and just 18 years of age, including the Rami Ali, another international out in the attacking areas. There's 2 Alis to keep an eye on, one wearing the number 8 jersey, who will also be looking to add in the way of creativity going forward for this side as they look to take it to Mamelodi Sundowns here. And looking for the biggest upset in the tournament thus far, if they can come up with the win. Match referee Rosali from Madagascar is assisted by Pule Namahome from Lesotho. The second assistant is Nancy Asitu from Zambia. What official in this match? The willing Sitogo from Lesotho as well. So plenty of expectation here on Mamelodi Sundowns. The likes of Oratile Mukwena will be looking for a good showing, a good start, quite crucial for last year's losing finalists at this competition. Keep in mind, losing finalists in the Champions League overall, having won it before. For Hamada Jambe, you'll know his side are very much up against it. In the interview speaking to Bali leading up to this match, they show that he is quite wary of who the opponent is here today and what the side is up against. He'll be hoping the trimmed squad he's brought through to South Africa will be able to keep their discipline, most importantly in defense. First touches of this year's CAF Women's Champions League CASAFA qualifiers. Then for Olimpic de Moroni. And there's expectation for goals in this match. Sundowns wasting no time and winning it back, looking to get onto the front foot. Ball allowed to run on then. Enough numbers dropping back defensively then. And the attacks have been true and telling so far in this match, and didn't take them long to eventually open the scoring, but it was beautifully done then by Tolagele after the ball had hit the post to keep a composure and set it up for Murifi, arriving late in the box. Pace a serious problem for Olimpic de Moroni to have to deal with. Composure there for Moroni. Has been one of the better players for Mamelodi Sundowns in this half, the goal scorer on that occasion. Well, they created a number of good moments, and Moroni involved in just about everything that was good for Mamelodi Sundowns on that left side. Ball in and cleared off the line then with Tolagele denied. And Moroni looking to return the favour for Tolagele, who created for her when she found the back of the net. Now, Taweti breaks through. Crossbar denying her. Terribly unlucky then, after having had the beating of the keeper. Lovely pass here, straight down the middle from Mtandi. Beautifully weighted, then the two defenders getting it wrong in the central areas, and Sundown so close to finding the back of the net again. Well, seen a couple of set pieces that have been impressive during the course of today. This one of them, with the ball in, gets the assist to go with the goal. She's scored. Goal scorer on this occasion is Martha Makubela. Sundowns getting the well-deserved two-goal cushion. So, for Mamelodi Sundowns, they first off where they are fully in control, then in the way of ball possession, close to 70% of the ball here. No shot on target to speak of for Olimpic de Moroni. In fact, their first shot at goal came in after 40 minutes.
Well, I'm joined by the COSAFA President, Artur de Almeida Silva. Thank you so much, Mr. President, for joining me once again. Let's just talk about now the 2023 edition. For the first time, we have 8 teams. It's a bit of a growth from the past 2 years. Are you pleased with the numbers you're seeing?
Yes, we are happy with these numbers because the number of the team are increasing, more teams coming, and also more country is coming. I think the next year will be much better than this. But we are, the idea is to improve the women football in our region, in our continent. But also we need to give more support to the women football. That's why we are here for this tournament, and I think we have to move forward.
We've already had Mamelodi Sundowns and Green Buffaloes from COSAFA representing us at the Champions League tournaments in previous years. It's going to Ivory Coast this year. Are you pleased with the talent you're seeing? Can you believe that our team, one of the teams there, can go all the way?
I believe because, one of our teams, they have some players in the national team also, who was participating in the World Cup. So that is a very good for us. It's a prestige for football in our zone. So we need to increase more teams for the next edition. But from now, we are happy what we are looking for.
We already had Zambia and South Africa in the FIFA Women's World Cup. We saw how well the African teams also did. What are we now doing as a region to just make sure that we are helping the national teams as well?
That's right. We have to give more support, more to help more the national teams. But the way we see the World Cup was going, so everyone is motivated to help the national teams. So even Angola, also people are very happy when they see the World Cup, and then you have more support from the government, we have more support for our society, for the companies. We have to bring more sponsors for women football. That is the idea in our zone.
We know that with Durban and Gqeberha, they've always been hosts when it comes to COSAFA. What are now the plans to move COSAFA to maybe other provinces as well?
Yes, the idea is to move for other provinces and the other countries. I think the next edition will go to more 2 countries. We have to confirm that. But the idea is to move for some countries more and go around the country for the province. But you know, South Africa has been supporting very well the football in our zones. So we'll continue work on that.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, and let's move forward with the women football.
So we'll see them enjoy themselves going forward. Most of the work being done in the first half was on the defensive side of the game here for the young ladies from the Comoros. And in yet another start of the Champions League for South African side against one from the Comoros is the South African side here that has the lead in the match. And in the second, well, they just put foot and pulled away from the opponent. So here's Mulifi again, looking for yet another assist. Lovely work on the left side. Finds the teammate, Rabale, after Tolagele will also need mentioning with the way she allowed the ball to run on. The skip, as we know it in the townships. And Rabale, the Lesotho international, with a impressive finish. So, assist number 3, is it? To the far side. One counters the assist, but man, he does well here. So well in getting the assist, setting it up then for the thumping shot from Tandy. Once again, she's involved in just about everything good. Moving from Mamelodi Sundowns. Lovely footwork from Mali. Superb strike. Well, the one done. Akubela gets a brace. Nice turn here. Daweti, another that was deserving of a goal. He did a lot of work in the attacking areas and breaking down the opponents, and maybe unfortunate not to be in amongst the scorers today, but a few of her teammates will be grateful for her efforts, and more so than Akubela. So here is assist number 3, is it? Yep, it's beyond the keeper. Beautifully across the face of goal then for Tolagele, who herself had put in a proper shift and was fully deserving to get in amongst the scorers during the course of today. Well, Sundowns carrying on doing what Sundowns does. Play lovely football, break down the opponent and rattle the back of the net. Making it look easy once the substitutes started coming on to score. Tekana, on that occasion, kept the composure. Then the last, the 8th of the day, needs another substitute with the great positional play here. A striker's goal, this a poacher's goal. Lovely ball played in, then right between the defender and the goalkeeper, right in the middle, spin them in half, and well read by Minis to grab Sundown's 8th of the day. The numbers will be very one-sided here if you are just joining us. Nothing on target in the way of Olimpic Moroni in shots. They did have the 2 attempts. Sundowns at 22, 20 more than their opponents. They scored 8. They scored 8 out of 13 opportunities, plus more than 60% of the ball. A dominant display from Mamelodi Sundowns.
Well, Refile Tolagele is our player of the match, and to hand over her award is Menzi Ngobo from Hollywood Bets. He's a senior football coordinator. You can hand that over. Thank you so much, Mapoloba. Refile, what a game today was. Tell me a little bit about your performance today.
First of all, I would like to thank Almighty God, and the team, management, and my players. We worked hard at training. We did our best. Today, it was top performance.
And what were some of the conversations in the changing room? Because already you went into halftime in the lead. What were now the conversations from the coach?
The coach just told us to play our football that we used to play, nothing else.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Refile Tolagele is the player of the match for today, and joining me now is the Olimpic de Moroni coach, Coach Amada Jambe. Coach, how did you see today's game?
Un match très difficile face à une bonne équipe de Mamelodi Sundowns. On savait qu'ils étaient supérieurs à nous, mais un score sévère.
It was a difficult game. It was a game against Mamelodi Sundowns. We know that they were above us technically and physically, but it was a very tough game.
Coach, already you came to this tournament missing 6 players because of injuries. And today, in the first half already, you had so many injuries. And it looked like your team was also just struggling physically.
Tu as manqué beaucoup de joueurs avant de venir dans cette compétition. Et aussi dans la compétition, il y avait eu beaucoup de blessures. Donc comment tu as vu cet engagement?
Ouais, c'est comme ça fait partie du jeu. Des fois, vous aurez tout votre effectif. C'est comme ça, le haut niveau. On savait que Mamelodi Sundowns, c'est une grande équipe. C'est la première fois durant ma carrière, j'ai été joueur professionnel en France et j'ai jamais pris un 8-0. Et aujourd'hui, j'ai pris un 8-0. C'est comme ça le football.
It is like that because this is football, and we know that Mamelodi Sundowns is a good team and a better one. And I was a player in France. I never gained 8-0, and today as a coach I gain it. So I understand it's football. It's like that.
Coach, how much did the red card affect the team?
Comment le carton rouge t'a vraiment affecté, le carton rouge qu'on a eu pour Lukaku?
Mais le carton rouge qui m'a affecté, c'est normal. Parce que la personne qui s'est blessée sur le côté, elle est revenue sur le terrain et l'arbitre a pris une décision directement, elle a mis le carton rouge alors que c'était un jaune qu'elle méritait. Mais après, face à une grande équipe comme Sundowns, c'est très difficile de jouer à 10 contre.
The red card has really affected me because as we have seen what's happened, it just gave a direct red card and the player also came back to the stadium. So it was really a yellow card. But this is the game and we're playing against a good team. So we have just to accept, but it has really affected, but cannot do anything else.
Hard luck, Coach. All the best for your next game.
Okay, thank you very much.
Merci, Coach.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Okay, Coach Amada Jambe of Olimpic de Moroni. A tough day at the office for them, but for Coach Jerry Shabalala, a great start indeed, Coach.
Yeah, for sure, a great start. You know, we needed to start on a positive note, and credit must go to the girls. You know, and when I looked, especially first half, when I looked the intensity that we started the game with, you know, at some point I needed to calm the girls down and say, look, we may not contain this intensity. We just need to calm down a little bit. But I'm glad that we've got 3 points.
When you started this game, already you were missing a number of key players, even in that defensive line, right? But Coach, it did not look like you were missing some of those key players. Does this now speak to the depth that you have on the bench?
Look, one would say it's depth, but you know, it goes back to the kind of quality that we recruit when we recruit players from Mamelodi Sundowns. We need players who are versatile, players who can play anywhere. Look, today we started the game on the right wing. We normally get to play either Lekhono Mashiko or Leuhan Ramalebe. But today we started with Kunjula Mal, who's more of a central player. We needed something a little bit different in terms of when she gets the ball, she has to invert inside, with Tony Murithi giving us a width on the other side. So we needed to be a little bit tricky today.
And before I let you go, Rabale misses that penalty, but she's always been that player, that left foot, we know. She's always been the one to always pick herself up and just redeem herself.
Look, she's our special player, our penalty taker, and I'm glad that she managed to redeem herself within 5 minutes into the game, you know, and it brought her confidence back.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mamelodi Sundowns walk away with 3 points, and this is how they assert their dominance in this tournament and making their presence felt. As you know, this year there is no automatic qualification for them, so it is all for them to play for in this year's tournament when it comes to them and Green Buffaloes, as they are now the only teams that have won this tournament. 11 goal thrill is what we were served today, but this is how now Group B translates to Mamelodi Sundowns at the top of the log, as well as Costa de Sol. So in this group, we saw clear winners as opposed to Group A, where there was a share of the spoils with all the teams. All right, and we are back to Group A fixtures tomorrow, and we will have double action ladies in action against Lesotho Defence Force, and then later on it will be Green Buffaloes, the defending champions, taking on Mtopwa FC, the new kids on the block. And of course, it's going to be a scorch, as now all these teams are looking for 3 points. They all currently sit on 1 point, so it all comes down to them winning these next fixtures. Well, 11 goals we were served today. We did not have any draws, but certainly it was a complete demolition today of the Olimpic de Moroni, a team that already came here struggling with injuries, and certainly in the 90 minutes they struggled with more and more injuries, frustrations as well. But for Mamelodi Sundowns, the bench is very healthy. They were also they also did not have key players coming into today, but certainly they have a healthy full bill of health on that bench. But we shall see how things transpire now as they head into game 2. But we are back tomorrow again here at the Sugar Ray Xwedu Stadium. It has been a fantastic day of women's football. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow. Cheers, bye.